Доброго дня, шановні колеги. Сьогодні 5 березня 2024 рік, 17:30. Дозвольте розпочати засідання. Відповідно до рішення вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету наказом ректора 714К від 27.12.23 року у Сумському національному аграрному університеті утворено спеціалізовану вчену раду для прийняття до розгляду та проведення разового захисту дисертації Сюй ВЕЙДУН на тему «Державна підтримка інноваційних проєктів розвитку соціальної інфраструктури територій in English State Support for Innovative Projects for the Development of the Social Infrastructure of the Territories» на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії у галузі знань 07 управління та адміністрування за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Склад ради: головуючий на засіданні Калачевська Лариса Іванівна, доктор економічних наук, професор кафедри публічного управління та адміністрування, Сумський національний аграрний університет, рецензенти: Щербак Валерія Геннадіївна, доктор економічних наук, професор кафедри економіки та підприємництва імені Івана Миколайовича Брюховецького, Сумський національний аграрний університет, Ніфатова Олена Михайлівна, доктор економічних наук, професор кафедри маркетингу і логістики, Сумський національний аграрний університет. Також офіційні опоненти: Монастирський Григорій Леонардович, доктор економічних наук, професор кафедри менеджменту, публічного управління та персоналу, Західноукраїнський національний університет, і Родченко Володимир Борисович, доктор економічних наук, професор, директор навчально-наукового інституту Каразінська школа бізнесу, навчально-науковий інститут Каразінська школа бізнесу. Посади членів спеціалізованої вченої ради вказані на дату захисту дисертаційної роботи. Прошу зареєструватися, шановні рецензенти та опоненти. Отже, на підставі реєстраційної картки присутні 5 членів спеціалізованої вченої ради із 5 затверджених наказом ректора 714К від 27.12.23 року. Кворум необхідний для засідання є, і ми маємо всі офіційні підстави для того, щоб розпочати, шановні колеги, наше засідання. Засідання спеціалізованої вченої ради таким чином оголошую відкритим. Сьогодні на порядку денному захист дисертації на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії, аспірантки кафедри маркетингу та логістики Сумського національного аграрного університету Сюй ВЕЙДУН на тему «Державна підтримка інноваційних проєктів розвитку соціальної інфраструктури території» за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Роботу виконана у Сумському національному аграрному університеті. Науковий керівник, доктор економічних наук, професор Данько Юрій Іванович, присутній на нашому засіданні. До спеціалізованої вченої ради надійшли наступні документи. Заява щодо проведення атестації здобувача, копія першої сторінки паспорта громадянина Китайської Народної Республіки, копія диплома магістра, витяг з наказу про зарахування до аспірантури, засвідчений у встановленому порядку, академічна довідка про виконання відповідної освітньо-наукової програми, висновок наукового керівника, доктора економічних наук, професора Данька Юрія Івановича, висновок про наукову новизну, теоретичне та практичне значення результатів дисертації, дисертація в друкованому та електронному виглядах, відбитки копій наукових публікацій, зарахованих за темою дисертації, засвідчені у встановленому порядку. Всі документи відповідають встановленим вимогам, дисертація до захисту подається вперше. Хто за запропонований порядок денний, прошу голосувати. Хто за? Дякую. Проти? Утримався? Немає. Пропозиція приймається. Дозвольте зачитати біографічні дані аспіранта. Сюй ВЕЙДУН, 1975 року народження, громадянин Китайської Народної Республіки, освіта вища, закінчила у 2005 році університет Чжэнчжоу, Китайська Народна Республіка, за спеціальністю бібліотечні науки. Аспірантуру закінчила у 2023 році Сумський національний аграрний університет Міністерства освіти і науки України міста Суми. Дисертацію виконана в Сумському національному аграрному університеті Міністерства освіти і науки України міста Суми. Тема дисертації затверджена на засіданні вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету протоколом номер 7 від 26 грудня 2023 року. Сюй ВЕЙДУН завершив виконання освітньо-наукової програми у 2022 році. 5 серпня 2022 року відбулася публічна презентація дисертаційного дослідження на кафедрі маркетингу та логістики за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент, де дисертацію було рекомендовано до розгляду та захисту у разовій спеціалізованій вченій раді. Основні положення та отримані наукові результати дисертаційної роботи висвітлені у 10 наукових працях, з них 4 наукових праці оприлюднено у фахових наукових виданнях, 1 розділ колективної монографії, 6 наукових праць опубліковано в інших виданнях. Наукові публікації відповідають вимогам пунктів 8 та 9 порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої вченої ради закладу вищої освіти, наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії. Постанова Кабінету міністрів України від 12 січня 2022 року номер 44. Дисертація відповідає вимогам наказу МОН України номер 40 від 12.01.17 року про затвердження вимог до оформлення дисертації та порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої вченої ради закладу вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії. Постанова Кабінету міністрів України від 12 січня 2022 року номер 44. Чи є питання у членів спеціалізованої вченої ради? Немає. Дякую. Із здобувачем погоджено, що захист дисертації буде проводитися англійською мовою. Для викладу основних результатів дослідження слово надається аспіранту Сюй ВЕЙДУН. Сюй ВЕЙДУН, to present the main result of your research, the word is given to graduate student Сюй ВЕЙДУН. Please, the floor is yours. You can share the screen.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can't show my screen.
No,
Oh,
not yet.
okay.
Do you see the bottom share screen?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. Yeah.
Okay, please. Yes. I think it works now. Yes, we can see your presentation. You can start.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Yes, please.
Okay. Dear members of the specialized academic council, today's my topic is state support for innovative projects for the development of the social infrastructure of the territories. Today's global trends in the spirit of the concept of the socially oriented economy by the leading countries of the world form the need to find new tools to ensure the proper quality of life of the country's population, as well as mechanisms that can contribute to the growth, competitiveness, and cohesion of society. According to L. Fudulova, the introduction of such mechanisms involves stressing the strategic role of the state, primarily in determining the priorities and the directions of development of the social sector of the economy. The importance of innovation process its context is realized through the promotion of the development of the creative and intellectual potential of the population, which are ultimately capable of influencing the formation of social potential. Another important consequence of the development of innovative processes that take place in the field of science, engineering, and technology is the improvement of the structure of social space. Throughout the formation of an inactive environment in the social sector of the country becomes an extremely important task in ensure the development of the social infrastructure of the territories. The key drives that have a significant impact on the results and development of the social sphere in general and social infrastructure in particular are inactive processes that should be important in all participants and structures of the state. Socially, society and business at all stages of economic development. Okay, and quantitative bibliometric analysis of publication in the Scopus scientific database on social infrastructure in the aspect of inactive development and state support for the period from 2002 to 2022. They demonstrated the growing interest of scientists in this topic. The geographical distraction of publication postulates and uneven dispersion of interest in the topic among the countries with the greatest contributions of the field of study are the United States of America and the United Kingdom, which have the highest number of publications. In third place is China, which indicates the great interest of scientists in the topic of social factor. Against 36 publication belongs to scientists from China. Ukrainian scientists author only 5 articles. The combined array of input data from the Scopus and WAS databases was exported to the program, and cluster map was built based on the sharing of keywords. Accordingly, 11 clusters of 108 elements were formed, which have 488 ties and disturb aspect of turning the concept of social infrastructure into the appropriate groups. The clusters with the most significant contribution are centered around the following keywords: innovation, social innovation, infrastructure, sustainability, and sustainable development. A map of clusters by composition of keywords on social infrastructure is present in Figure 3. The cluster that has the largest number of ties is represented by the work of scientists who consider social infrastructure in the context of innovation. The most characteristic keywords of this cluster are innovation, innovative, economy, digital transformation, digitalization, ecosystem, human capital, public-private partnership. Therefore, taking into account the context of the above truths, we will consider social innovation within the framework of our study as an integral part of the innovate development of social infrastructure. The task of which is originating social processes in a new way through new forms of organization, lifestyle, or regulation. The next, in terms of the number of intellectual ties, is cluster 2 infrastructure, which reveals the factor of social infrastructure through the provision of social service, urban approaching, and smart city technologies, taking into account the peculiarities of regional development and the digital economy. The core of the cluster is the concept of social infrastructure, social service, and regional development. The most up-to-date is terms of the privacy of use is a concept of social infrastructure. Considering this category, we can distinguish for four ways of using the concept of social infrastructure. The starting point for understanding each concept is the primary reason for the emergence of social infrastructure as such. The analysis of the state of innovation process is Chinese social sector should also begin with a study of the country's presentation in the Global Innovation Index. China, which ranked 34th in 2022, joined the ranks of the leaders in innovation in 2016, and since then, constantly strengthening this position, has been one step from away from the top 10 in 11th place in 2022. Among the upper medium income economics, China ranks 8th overall in the sub-index of innovation outcomes, and its performance rate is comparable to that of high-income economics such as the Netherlands and Germany, but at a lower level of contribution to innovation, as can be seen in this. China is this group of countries has indirect values that are much higher than the average values of the group for all indicators. It is interesting to compare the so-called indicators that from the Global Innovation Index between China and Ukraine, despite the fact that these countries are in different groups. According to same indicators, Ukraine's flag is not correct. In this context, attention should be paid to the trends and the dynamics of the formation of real GDP in China. The main factor of growth of which in 2022 was investment, which has facilitated by public sector spending on infrastructure. Half of the infrastructure investment was directed to transport and public facilitated and increases in the level of utilization of into structure. Capitals keeps investment in business at a high level. But investment in real estate has suspended due to defaults to construction, campaigns, and falling sales. Okay. An analysis of Chinese universities structure showed that it is necessary to spend more on thought, education, healthcare, social practitioner, and hard investments, environment, facilities, renewable energy sources, urban transport system. Social protection should in sources, but government revenues are low, which requires reforming the pension system, the healthcare system, and the public revenue system. The next indicator that should be analyzed to understand the development of China's social infrastructure is the average number of people enrolled in education per 100,000 by level of education and regionally. Analysis of statistical data has shown that over the past 10 years, there has been a gradual increase in the average number of people enrolled in preschool and higher education by 100,000. Probably the trend of resumption of growth after a sharp decline in the period from 2022 to 2015 observed for primary and junior secondary education, but the average number of people covered by senior secondary education per 100,000. Compared to 2011, it's decreases by almost 21%. This trend may lead in the future to an uneven falling of the labor market and shortages of specialists in certain professional analysis of the average number of enrollments per 100,000 publication by region in 2021 showed that the Beijing region has the highest enrollment rate in tertiary education, while having the lowest enrollment rates in junior secondary education and upper secondary generation. The formation of a system of indicators of determining the level of development of social infrastructure was carried out on the basis of generalization of existing approaches to structuring the spheres of activity and constituent elements. In accordance with this, we propose to assess the social infrastructure of the territory, including the following group of indicators. The obtained values of the calculators in details of the integral coefficient of the level of development of the social infrastructure of the regions of China are made and present. The main idea of the proposed mathematical approach is formation of an analytical profile of the level of development of social infrastructure in different regions of China in order to target state support for innovation projects in these relevant spheres of social infrastructure, which will contribute to the efficiency of the use of public funds and reduce the level of regional disparity in the overall development of the social infrastructure of the state. The methodological approach provides for the step-by-step implementation of three methodological blocks, each of which is based on stretching computation toolkit. The first block, the integral basis, involves the use of integral interdiction of the level of development of social infrastructure based on taxonomic analysis. The second block, clustering of regions, provides for the implementation for the procedure for dividing regions into groups, according to common social infrastructural characteristics. The third group, factor analytical, is based on the use of factor analysis tools to determine a group of factors that influence the innovative development of the social infrastructure of territories. The formation of interaction between key stakeholders should be considered as a necessity, especially in the case of public-private partnership projects that are related of the social sphere, and therefore to the loyalty and satisfaction of the end user. The publication of the country before processing to information of recommendation for the reformation of the interaction of key stakeholders to ensure the differences of innovative process of the social sector. We will consider in detail the structural composition of such interaction, and therefore we will determine who the key stakeholders are in this context. The proposes organization economic medical scheme for managing innovation activities for the development of social infrastructure of territories is a transformation of the influence of the external innovation as the main sources of innovation changes within the framework of the functioning of the innovation cluster, which at the same time acts as the source of resource that the social infrastructure as an open system used as the input of its activities to ensure the expected result. The social within the framework of the proposed medical scheme in accordance with the proposed content of the 8 spheres of the social hub center of the innovation cluster is a new configuration of interaction between key stakeholders to ensure the efficacy of the innovation process of the social theater and create a new potential for its growth. The proposed organization economic medical means for managing innovation activities for the development of social infrastructure of territories is a transformation of the influence of the external environment as the main sources of innovation changes. Within the framework of the functioning of the innovation cluster, which at the same time acts as the source of resource that the social infrastructure as an open system, a user at the input of this activity to ensure the expected result. The methodological basis of state regulation in the spheres of social infrastructure is the forms of public-private partnerships as a universal toolkit, and the relevant clips the observance of which should be a prerequisite for making regulatory discussion on the implementation of innovative changes. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Sюй ВЕЙДУн. The report is completed, and I invite the members of Scientific Council to ask the questions. Мифатова Алена Михайловна, please, would you like to ask some questions?
Of course, thank you very much for this opportunity, Sюй ВЕЙДУн. Thank you very much for your interesting presentation. And I have two questions for you. The first, my first question is related with the Global Innovative Index. So, what key conclusions can be drawn by comparing the position of China and Ukraine on the infrastructure indicator in the Global Innovative Index 2022, which you present, and how does it reflect on their innovative development, particularly in social infrastructure?
Thank you for the question. The comparative analysis of China's and Ukraine's position on the infrastructure in the Global Innovation Index 2022 provides insights into the process and the challenges of infrastructure innovation development in these countries, both generally and especially in social infrastructure. Both countries have made significant progress in implementing government online service and electronic participation at tools to enhance communication between government and stations, improving access to information and public service in composition under the ecological sustainability. That in Decatur, Ukraine surpasses China its development dynamics from 2020 to 2022. Yeah. In facing the relevance of addressing energy efficiency issues for China. At Micno, China exhibits more substantive negative indicators in the environmental performance rating postings, reflecting aspects relate to climate change, environment hygiene, and the quality of ecosystems.
Thank you for your answer. It is a very interesting analysis. And my Next question. What are the main advantage and disadvantages of the proposed methodological approach for assessing the level of social infrastructure development in territories, particularly in the context of its uniqueness?
Thank you for the question. The proposed methodological approach for assessing the level of social infrastructure development in territories is characterized by its uniqueness, stemming from a broad spectrum of stakeholders, government and local authorities, business communities, and the public, capable of unitizing its results. This approach aims to evaluate the proportionality of regional development and provide disparities in the development of spatial, social in various structural spheres. It facilitates comparative assessment of the development level of territories and the effectiveness of investment in public-private partnership projects. Moreover, it contributes to making strategic decisions in state social policy.
Thank you. Elena Mikhailivna, are you satisfied with the answers?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And I invite Shirbak Valeria Gennadievna to ask the questions, please.
Thank you very much. Can I also ask two questions? First question is, what are the main conclusions drawn from the conducting bibliometric analysis of publications in the bibliographic databases corpus and Web of Science regarding social infrastructure in the context of innovative development and government support, please?
Thank you for the question. The conduct bibliometric analysis of publication in the Scopus and WOS databases on social in various structure in the aspect of innovative development and government support allowed us to make the following calculations. One that was a period from 2002 to 2022. There is a significant series in researchers interested in this topic. Third, the geographical distribution of publication impels an uneven distribution of interest in the theme. Among the countries with the most significant contribution to the field of research are the United States and the United Kingdom, having the highest number of publications. China ranks third, indicating substantial interest from researchers in the field of social infrastructure. Third, the cluster map based on the composition of wait a minute. Composition of keywords related to accept of social in various structure. It's precedent in 4 main groups named after dominating keyword with the highest number of communication. Cluster 1, innovations. Cluster 2, infrastructure cluster. three sustainable development clustered for collaboration. Could you please formulate a question based on this information?
Thank you. Also, I have the second question. How do you view social innovations in the context of our research on social infrastructure, please?
Thank you for the question. We consider social innovations within the framework of our research as an integral component of the innovation development of social infrastructure, whose task is to reorganize social process in a novel way through new forms of organization, lifestyle, or regulation.
Валерія Геннадіївна, are you satisfied with
Yeah.
the answers?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Сюй ВЕЙДУн, before I will give the floor to the next member of Scientific Council, could you please stop sharing the screen? I think it will be more comfortable for us to discuss.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you. And I would like to give the floor to the next member of Scientific Council, Монастырский Григорий Леонардович, please. Would you like to ask some questions?
Thank you. I have two questions. My first questions, dear Sюй ВЕЙДУн, please say me, what are the main directions of the development of social infrastructure in Ukraine in the context of innovation as identified in the study of the state of innovative processes in the social sector, and how do these directions align with contemporary challenges? Please say.
Thank you for the question. The study of innovation process in Ukraine's social sector has identified key development direction for social infrastructure in the context of contemporary challenges and innovation focus. These include expanding the pool of social activity participants, digitizing the social sphere, individualizing social service, increasing the diversity of organization forms and technologies for meeting social needs, orienting toward strategical goals of sustainable development and preserving as an environment. Standardization of social infrastructure is also invested in accordance with Europe recommends.
Thank you. And my next questions, how do you evaluate the effectiveness of the proposed mechanism for managing the innovative development of social infrastructure, which utilizes the influence of the external environment and resources of the innovation cluster, please?
Thank you for the question. The proposed organization and economic mechanism for managing the innovation activity of social infrastructure development in territories represent a transformation of the influence of the external environment as the main source of innovative changes within the functional of the innovation cluster. Simultaneously, this innovation cluster serves as a sources of resources that social infrastructure as an open system utilizes in these activities to achieve the expressed results.
Григорій Leonardovich, are you satisfied?
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. And I invite Rodchenko Volodymyr Borisovich, please.
Thank you. Thank you, first of all. Thank you, Sюй ВЕЙДУН, for the nice presentation, for good research. I also have some questions. First one, I want to ask how do you assess the impact of level of investment in the overall social infrastructure in the region, considering indicator of effectiveness and the need of review the financing strategy?
Thank you for the question. The level of investment in specific sector of social infrastructure characterized by fixed directors ensure a high level of overall social infrastructure in the region. This may indicate that the effectiveness of the government funding strategy for individual sector of social infrastructure is low, leading to the resolution of the need to review such a strategy and apply the principles of complexity and synergistic ethics.
Okay, understand. And one more question, a bit another. How has the COVID-19 pandemic influenced in innovation development of social infrastructure in China, particularly in medical field and digital service for population? What can you say? How it's changed?
Thank you for the question. The innovative development of China's social infrastructure in recent years is primarily linked to the COVID-19 pandemic, which triggered a new wave of innovation across the entire economy. Medical is a key area where the government has related to invest more in research and development. However, this time innovation and more inclusive as they cater to the demands of hundreds of millions of people. Another sector that has experienced future innovative development in China is digital service for the publication. However, not all digital service have benefited from the COVID-19 outbreak. The share of the sharing economy, which accounted for 3.2% of GDP in 2019 and was dramatically growing in recent years. It's likely to decline due to insourcing concepts about the cycle sharing of housing, automobiles, household places, and other objects.
Thank you very much. Volodymyr Borisovich, are you satisfied?
Yes, thank you. Satisfied. Thank you.
Thank you. Dear colleagues, allow me also to ask some questions. So, dear Sюй ВЕЙДУН, how does the interaction of key stakeholders according to the four-level interaction model contribute to the effectiveness of innovation process in the social sector? And what criteria and requirements should they meet to achieve this efficiency? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. The level of investment in specific sectors of social infrastructure ensure as a high level of overall social infrastructure in the region. This may detect that the effectiveness of the government funding strategy for individual sector of social infrastructure is low, leading to the realization of the need to review such a strategy and public appearances of conflicting and significant effects.
Okay, thank you. And the last one, how is the degree of involvement of relevant stakeholders determined in shaping social policies? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. The result of forming is the introduction of key stakeholders is determined degree of innovation of relevant stakeholders activity, participating in the planning, development, and implementation of social policy. This can be realized through the application of the responsibility map of instruction in shaping the policy for the development of social infrastructure in territories.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer. I am satisfied. Dear colleagues, no more questions from your side? Okay, thank you. In this case, let me acquaint those present with the conclusion about the scientific novelty, theoretical and practical significance of the results of the thesis, and I will switch on the Ukrainian language according to the rules. Thank you. Шановні колеги, дозвольте познайомити вас з основними положеннями висновку про наукову новизну, теоретичне та практичне значення результатів дослідження дисертації аспіранта кафедри маркетингу та логістики Сюй ВЕЙДУН на тему State Support for Innovative Projects for the Development of the Social Infrastructure of the Territories, подане на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії в галузі знань 07 управління та адміністрування за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Доводжу до вашого відома, що серед положень висновку зазначено актуальність теми дослідження, також розкрито зв'язок роботи з науковими програмами, планами та темами. Дисертацію виконано відповідно до напрямків наукової дослідної роботи кафедри маркетингу і логістики Сумського національного аграрного університету за темою управління конкурентоспроможністю підприємства на засадах інноваційного маркетингу. У висновку розкрита мета і завдання дослідження. Мета дослідження полягає в обґрунтуванні та розробці теоретичних засад, методичних положень та прикладних рекомендацій щодо державної підтримки інноваційних проєктів розвитку соціальної інфраструктури територій. Наукова новизна одержаних результатів заслуговує на особливу увагу, і це також зазначено. Серед основних положень я хотіла би вам озвучити наступні. Вперше запропоновано організаційно-економічний механізм управління інноваційною діяльністю розвитку соціальної інфраструктури територій, який представляє собою перетворення впливу зовнішнього середовища як основного джерела інноваційних змін в рамках функціонування інноваційного кластеру, який одночасно виступає джерелом ресурсів, які соціальна інфраструктура, як і відкрита система використовує на виході своєї діяльності для забезпечення очікуваного результату. Також удосконалено теоретико-методичний підхід формування взаємодії ключових стейкхолдерів на основі визначення ступеня залучення відповідних зацікавлених сторін, які активно беруть участь у процесі планування, розробки та впровадження соціальної політики. Дослідження стану інноваційних процесів у соціальному секторі Китаю на основі позицій країни у глобальному індексі інновацій та аналізу статистичних показників соціальної інфраструктури. Також удосконалено методичний підхід до оцінювання рівня розвитку соціальної інфраструктури територій, унікальність якого полягає у наявності широкого спектру зацікавлених осіб, органів державної та місцевої влади, бізнес-спільноти та громадськості. Обґрунтування взаємодії ключових стейкхолдерів для забезпечення ефективності інноваційних процесів соціального сектору на основі моделі 4-рівневої взаємодії. Також хотілося б зазначити, щодо використання результатів роботи, основні положення та результати дослідження доповідалися та отримали загальне наукове схвалення на щорічних конференціях та семінарах. Особиста участь автора в одержанні наукових та практичних результатів викладених в дисертації також представлена в висновку. Рецензенти провели аналіз звіту на плагіат і, відповідно, результати звіту відповідають нормам. Зазначено перелік публікацій за темою дисертації із вказанням особистого внеску здобувача, структура та обсяг дисертації також відповідає дизайну наукового дослідження такого рівня. Це ж саме стосується і оцінки мови та стилю дисертації. Також відзначено ступінь зрілості нашого дисертанта. Хотіла би більш детально, шановні колеги, познайомити вас із висновком засідання кафедри. Вважати, що дисертаційна робота Сюй ВЕЙДУН на тему State Support for Innovative Projects for the Development of the Social Infrastructure of the Territories, яка подана на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент, за своїм науковим рівнем та практичною цінністю повністю відповідає вимогам пункту 6 Постанови Кабінету міністрів України про затвердження порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої вченої ради закладу вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії від 12.01.22 року номер 44 та вимогам до оформлення дисертації затвердженим наказом МОН України від 12.01.17 року номер 40 та відповідає напрямку наукового дослідження освітньо-наукової програми СНАУ за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Рекомендувати дисертаційну роботу, подану Сюй ВЕЙДУН на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії до захисту та створити разову спеціалізовану вчену раду. Відповідний висновок підписаний завідувачем кафедри маркетингу та логістики, доктором економічних наук професором Наталією Макаренко та засвідчений секретарем засідання, доцентом кафедри маркетингу та логістики, кандидатом наук, доцентом Валентиною Муштайль. Це, шановні колеги, щодо положень висновку про наукову новизну. Розпочинаємо обговорення дисертаційної роботи Сюй ВЕЙДУН. We begin the discussion of the dissertation work by Сюй ВЕЙДУН. І я запрошую виступити рецензента. I invite a reviewer to speak. Щербак Валерія Геннадіївна, Doctor of Economic Science, Professor of Department of Economics and Enterprise, named by Брюховецький. Please. Вікторія Геннадіївна.
Валерія,
Вибачте.
нічого страшного, це дуже часто. Very often,
Дякую.
very often. Name me or Victoria or Valentina. Why? I don't understand.
Окей.
Okay. I want to thank you for opportunity to participate in this discussion of this dissertation. As an expert, I submitted my review to the Dissertation Defense Council in a timely manner. So I want to focus on the main key points. The dissertation by Sюй ВЕЙДУН on state support of an innovative project for the development of social infrastructure of territories is highly relevant today, as it addresses two critical role of government backend on enhancing the quality and sustainability of social services through innovation, especially in an area of rapid technological change and evolving social needs. The dissertation research follows the theme of scientific work done by Sumy National Agrarian University, focusing on improving enterprise consistentness with innovative marketing principles. While evaluating the dissertation positively, it is necessary to note certain points of discussion. First of all, the first remark is in the dissertation, it would be advisable to provide a detailed analysis of potential advantages and disadvantages considering the diversity of social innovations. Additionally, explain how the proposed organizational and economic mechanisms can effectively addresses the task of stimulating innovative processes in a social infrastructure of territories. The second one is additional clarification is needed regarding the key aspects of social infrastructure that can be identified in the context of our research as components of the material base of the social complex of territories. The question areas how do this structures in the social sphere impact the organization of society life. Therefore, which social and quasi-public spaces fall within the scope of our investigation, and what roles do they play in sustaining social cohesion through the provision of quality social services. The third one is the author use of the multi-type regressions to determine the prioritization of innovative projects in social infrastructure. This approach involves coefficients to identify the sector of social infrastructure that requires the most significant innovative transformations along with the creating of efficiently reliability metrics. It would be beneficent to provide more detailed explanation of the specific considerations involved. The fourth one is in figure number 3.2 in the dissertation, name the organizational and economic mechanisms of managing innovative activities in the development of social infrastructure in territories is presented. However, this mechanism lacks a marketing component. We cannot agree with this. As in the context of identified competitiveness, the role of marketing becomes particularly critical. Fifth one is it would be advisable to pay more attention to the analysis of the research subject in context of official intelligent development. We believe that when discussing infrastructure development issues related to artificial intelligence are particularly decisive and practically significant essential for China. The sixth one is this thesis contains additional errors, most likely attributed for challenges of translating from Chinese to English. However, these comments don't lessen the overall high assessment of the research conducted by Sюй ВЕЙДУН after carefully reviewing Sюй ВЕЙДУN dissertation and scientific publications. It's important to note his scientific material and ability to conduct an independent research at a high scientific level. The reviewed dissertation is completed independently conducted scientific work characterized by integratory and significant theoretical and applied value. Sюй ВЕЙДУН dissertation on the topic State Support for Innovative Projects for the Development of the Social Infrastructure of the Territories aligns completely with the specialty 073 management and meets the requirements outlined in point 6 of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine resolution on approving the procedure of awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and cancelling the discussion of online time specialized academic council of a higher education institution, scientific institution, on awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy dating January 12, 2022, number 44, and requirements for the presentation of the dissertation approved the order to the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine dating January 12, 2017, number 40. Therefore, the dissertation can be recommended for consideration at the meeting of a one-time specialized academic council, and its author, Sюй ВЕЙДУН, for the award of the degree of a Doctor of Philosophy in the specialty 073 management. Thank you very much.
Valeria Gennadievna, thank you very much. Sюй ВЕЙДУН, you are given the opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted in the reviewer's review. Please.
First and foremost, I would like to experience gratitude to esteemed Professor Valeria Sherbak for taking time to review our dissertation, participating in today's session, providing a constructive practice system, insightful comments, and valuable advice. We agree with the majority of the remarks and will practically consider them in our research, while some of them we would like to address especially. Regarding the responses to the first question, the proposed organization and economy mechanisms are aimed at effectively addressing the challenges of stimulating innovative process in the social infrastructure of territories. Simultaneously, this cluster serves as a source of resource that social infrastructure utilize to achieve expected results. Public-private partnerships act as universal tool for state regulation, with corresponding principles becoming a mandatory condition for regulatory decisions on implementing innovative changes in social infrastructure. This approach fosters coordinated development of innovative processes, ensuring optimal resource utilization to achieve strategic goals in the development of social infrastructure in territories. Concerning the first question, the role of artificial intelligence in the development of social infrastructure in territories can be significant and processes and multifaceted. Artificial intelligence has the potential to optimize majority processes, enhance the quality of social service, and assist in forecasting and managing services. Moreover, it contributes to more efficient resource utilization and the development of smart infrastructure objects. Paying attention to the aspect of artificial intelligence development, particularly in the context of infrastructure growth, is critical, especially for China and its rapidly evolving society. We agree with the other comments, and their premises will significantly enhances the outcomes of our future research. Once again, we assure Professor Valeria Sherpa of our high esteem and gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Valeria Gennadievna. Are you satisfied with the answer?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. In this case, I invite the next reviewer to speak, Nifatova Elena Mikhailivna, Doctor of Economic Sciences, Professor of the Department of Marketing and Logistics, Sumy National Agrarian University. Please, Elena Mikhailivna.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present my review for Sюй ВЕЙДУN dissertation on the topic state support for innovative projects for the development of the social infrastructure of the territories. My review is posted on the website of Sumy National Agrarian University. So let me briefly introduce you to its main conclusions. First of all, I would like to note the relevance of the topic because in today's rapidly changing world, where technologies, urban structures, and demographic indicators are evolving swiftly, ensuring the well-being of communities requires strategic investment and cutting-edge solutions. State support is crucial for catalyzing innovation, providing necessary financial, regulatory, and institutional frameworks to stimulate innovative initiatives. This support is particularly important as it aligns with the broader goal of creating resilient, sustainable, and inclusive communities for the present and future generations. Therefore, the topic focus of Sюй ВЕЙДУN dissertation is both timely and significant in today's context. The dissertation has been conducted in accordance with the thematic focus of research at Sumy National Agrarian University, like enterprise competitiveness management based on innovative marketing. Familiarization with the content of the dissertation provides grounds to conclude that the scientific positions, conclusions, and recommendations formulated by the author are credibly and well founded. The dissertation exhibits a logical structure, and the author systematically approach problem formulation, text definition, and appropriately selected methods for research. Among the scientific achievements of Süy ВЕЙДУN, the following deserve special attention. For the first time, an original economic mechanism for managing the innovative activity of social infrastructure development in territories has been proposed. This mechanism involves transforming the influence of the external environment as the main sources of innovative changes within the functioning of an innovative cluster. The methodological basis for the state regulation in the spheres of social infrastructure includes forms of public-private partnerships and universal toolkit. The theoretical and methodological approach to forming the interaction of key stakeholders has been improved based on the identified degree of involvement of relevant increased parties. The parties actively participate in the planning, development, and implementation of social policies. This improvement can be realized through the application of a responsibility map of institutions in shaping the policy for the development of social infrastructure in territories. The study of the state of innovative process in the social sector of China has been refined based on the country's position in the Global Innovation Index and an analysis of statistical indicators of social infrastructure. The methodological approach to assessing the level of development of social infrastructure in territories has further evolved. Its unique lies in the involvement of a wide range of stakeholders, such as government and local businesses, communities, and the public. This approach is applicable for making competitive assessments of the level of development across regions, evaluating the efficiency of investment in public-private partnership projects, and adapting strategic decisions for state social policies. As a result of the research, 10 scientific works have been published, including a chapter in a collective monograph, 4 articles in specialized journals, and collection of scientific papers, and 6 publications in materials from scientific conferences. But some discussion point should be noted. The first one, in section 1.1 of chapter 1, it would be advisable to justify your own authorial approach to interpreting the key definition of social infrastructure development and analyze whether there are differences in the interpretation of this concept among Chinese, Ukrainian, and Western scholars. In section 1.2, the author compiled a consolidated data set from the Scopus and Web of Science databases and formed 11 clusters with 108 elements, which have 488 connections, distributing aspects related to the mention of the concept of social infrastructure into respective groups. However, it would be advisable to further justify how objective this approach is, considering that a significant portion of scholarly literature today does not belong to these 2 bibliometric databases. In section 2.2, the author notes that the main sources for addressing social economic needs of the population through the development of social infrastructure by implementing social innovations could include budgetary funds, external and internal loans, and indirect financing. At the same time, recent events indicate that among the important sources of funding, grant funds from leading sources can be considered. The next section, 2.2, should be supplemented with information on how unification at the provincial level of the pension administration of the People's Republic of China can help address the deficit and surplus issues in different regions, considering the aging and young population. In Chapter 3, it would be advisable to provide calculations of the economic efficiency resulting from the implementation of state support for innovative projects for the development of social infrastructure territories. The above-mentioned comments and discussion points do not hinder the overall positive assessment of the dissertation, and my general conclusion and evaluation of the dissertation. The dissertation on the topic state support for innovative projects for the development of the social infrastructure of the territories is completed work demonstrating scientific novelty and practical significance. The dissertation research corresponds to the specialty 073 management. In terms of content, structure, volume, and formatting, the dissertation complies with the requirements outlined in the order of the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, and the procedure for awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, and concerning the decision of a one-time specialized academic council of a higher education institution, a research institution, on awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Based on the above, it can be concluded that Sюй ВЕЙДУн, the author of the dissertation on the topic state support for innovative projects for the development of the social infrastructure of territories, deserve to be awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the specialty 073 management, and signed by me, Olena Nifatova, Doctor of Economic Science, Professor of the Department of Marketing and Logistics, Sumy National Agrarian University. Thank you very much for your attention.
Olena Mikhailivna, thank you very much for your detailed review. Dear Sюй ВЕЙДУн, please respond to the comments.
First of all, I would like to express gratitude to Professor Olena Nifatova for detecting her time to review our dissertation, participating in today's session, providing constructive, insightful comments and advice. We agree with the majority of our remarks and will centrally take them into account in our research. However, there is one that we would like to address: is the unification of patient administration can help avoid disparities in financial burdens among different regions. Ensuring adequate funding for regions with an iron population and providing resources for regions with a younger population. This can be accompanied by the implementation of a financial flow distribution system that considers the demographic characteristics of each region of ensure a fair and efficient allocation of patient funds. Such an approach contributes to the sustainable development of the patient system in the context of various demographic challenges. We concur with your other comments, and their principles will significantly enhances the outcomes of our future investigations. Once again, we assure Professor Olena Nefedova of our high respect and gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Olena Mikhailivna. Are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. In this case, dear colleagues, I invite the official opponent to speak, Monastyrsky Grigorий Leonardovich, Doctor of Economic Sciences, Professor of the Department of Management, Public Administration and Personnel, West Ukrainian National University. Please.
Thank you very much, dear ladies and gentlemen, the head of Specialized Scientific Council, dear college. It is a great honor for me to participate in the work of the Council. I hope that after the victory of Ukraine in the war, I will definitely come to the Sumy National Agrarian University, which is very dear to my heart. In accordance with the regulatory requirements, I submitted the opinion of the official opponent. Let me quell on the main point on the opinion on the official opponent. The relevance of the topic states support for innovative projects for the development of social infrastructure of territories is extremely important in the current conditions of rapid technological development and growing requirements for the quality of life of the population. Sюй ВЕЙДУN made it possible to consolidate that the main scientific provisions, conclusions, and recommendations formatted in the dissertation correspondence of this type of research. The scientific novelty of the obtained results lies in the solution of an urgent scientific task, the scientific substantiation of a set innovative approaches and tools of state support for innovative projects for development of social infrastructure of territories and the development of appropriate methodological and technological support that is effective and efficient function. According to the results of thorough study of the manuscript of the dissertation and published scientific works of the author, as well as analysis for report provided by the author of the verification of the text in the manuscript by the service in Czech, no violations of academic integrity were found. Evaluating the dissertation research submitted for defense in general, it is necessary to point out certain debatable provisions of the dissertation and make the following comments and suggestions. The bibliometric analysis of publication in the scientometric databases Scopus and Web of Science on social infrastructure in the aspect of innovative development and state support applied by the author is not worthy, but should be noted that a significant part of the scientific literature, in particular the scientific publication of many Chinese and Ukrainian researchers, taking into account the proposed four-level model of interaction with the state, the private sector, investors, and the end consumer, it would be expanded to specify the prospects and studies models of interaction of key stakeholders can be applied to ensure the effectiveness of innovation processes in the social sector. In figure 2.10, the other proposes updated direction for the development of innovative processes in the social sphere. It is important that, among other, the digitalization of the social sphere is highly treated as a socio-economic and scientific technological process of creating optimal conditions for meeting information needs, increasing the rights of citizens. The other notes that the determinations of measure for introduction of innovative change of the subject area of components of the hub center of the innovative cluster is proposed to be implemented to the basis of analysis and comparison of the level of development of social infrastructure of different regions. It would be expected to detail that potential shortcomings and challenges there might be then using the experiences of leading region in the areas of social infrastructure to implement innovative change in less developed regions. Given that the dissertation was written while studying in Ukraine, it would be necessary to dwell in more detail on the comparison of systems of state support for the development of territorial communities and their social infrastructure. Such a comparative analysis would be useful for the development and construction of interstate realization in the future. General conclusion. Sюй ВЕЙДУН's dissertation on the topic state support for innovative projects for the development of social infrastructure of territories, which was submitted for defense to the Specialized Academic Council for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 07 Management and Administration, in the specialty 073 Management in terms of its relevance, scientific and theoretical level, the main results of validity to the main provisions of and results published in professional publications, the novelty of the formulation and practical significance meets the requirements of the resolution of Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine, dated January 2022, number 34, and as amended in accordance with the resolution of the Cabinet of Ministry number 345, dated 21st March 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grigori Leonardovich. Сюй ВЕЙДУН, please respond to comments of official opponent, please.
First of all, I would like to express gratitude to the esteemed Professor Grigori Monastrilsky for the time spent on familiarizing himself with our discussion and participation in today's session for constructive criticism, wide remarks, and advice. We agree with the majority of your comments and will certainly take them into account in our scientific work. While some of them we would like to address is detailing potential drawbacks and challenges when utilizing the experience of leading regions in the social infrastructure for implementing innovative changes in less developed regions included uneven development, the use of experience from developed regions may result in an uneven distribution of innovations, accenting the disparity in development levels between regions, cultural and social differences. Successful innovations in one region may not adapt well to the peculiarities of less developed regions due to cultural and social difficulties, financial limitation. Less developed regions may face financial challenges when attempting to implement innovations that were successful in other areas. Personal insurance, stranger of profit, personal in less developed regions or can complicate the implementation of innovative changes. Political will in Soviet political will at the government level may pose an obstacle to the effective implementation of innovations. Achieving a balanced development can be accomplished by creating special programs, providing financial support, adopting an individualist approach to each region, and considering its needs and peculiarities. We agree with other comments. Their praises will significantly enhances the result of our future research. Once again, we assure Professor Grigori Monastiriski of our high esteem and gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Grigori Leonardovich. I guess you should be satisfied with the answer.
So I am satisfied with the response, my comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
dear colleagues. And according to our procedure, I invite the next official opponent to speak, Volodymyr Rodchenko, Doctor of Economic Science Professor, Director of the Educational and Research Institute, Karazin Business School, Educational and Research Institute, Karazin Business School. Thank you. Please.
Okay, thank you very much. Dear colleagues, allow me go through my review, but focus on the main position, because colleagues say there is something. First of all, I want to say about relevance of dissertation topic, because state support of innovative projects in the field of social infrastructure of territories, it's a relevant topic for dissertation research for numerous reasons, and I think I go through my review because I provided it according to the procedure and provided in time. It consists the validity and reliability of conclusion and recommendation. This dissertation has scientific novelty. Content dissertation is relevant, complete dissertation is completed, and I want to note only my main comments and points for discussions which I can see in dissertation. And while acknowledging the relevance of conducted research, scientific novelty, and the substantiation of the obtained result, as well as their practical significance, it's pertinent to note that some statements have a debatable character. The first one, the author has said that the research on the state of innovation process in the social sector of Ukraine has identified actualized direction for the development of social infrastructure. However, it would be advisable to specify concrete steps and strategic for effective implementation or innovative approach in the development of social infrastructure in Ukraine. This could include expanding social activities, digitalization the sector, individualization the social service, and aligning the European standards. The second one, in the section 2.3, the author doesn't allocate sufficient attention to risk management. It's crucial to consider potential difficulties and obstacles that may arise in the implementation of new organizational and economic mechanisms. Addressing these challenges would assist in forming realistic expectation and development strategy of overcome them. The third one, further classification is needed regarding the criteria and method used to determine provision of beds for the elderly. A detailed explanation of this criteria and method employed for this indicator would contribute to a more nuanced understanding of its impact on the healthcare system and ensure consistency in the data. Next one, the author highlighting the importance of horizontal coordination among institutions, but it remains unclear from the text how the degree of involvement of stakeholders in the planning, development, and implementation of social policies can be determined and measured. The research would benefit from the proposal of tools and methodologies for assessing the participation of the public and other stakeholders. The last one, analyzing of the definition and role of industrial association in China's cluster model, certain ambiguities and aspects requiring classification are identified. The lack of specification regarding the specific task and functions performed by industrial association in the formulation and development of cluster makes it unclear how to contribute to enhancing competitiveness. But in summary, the raised discussion points don't diminish the value of the obtained results, and the overall positive assessment of the dissertation remains intact. In general, VEЙДУN's dissertation on the topic State Support for Innovative Projects for Development of the Social Infrastructure of Territories is an integral, complete, independent scientific research carried out at the appropriate theoretical level. In content, structure, and design, it corresponds to the field of knowledge, management and administration, specialty 073 management, requirement of Ministry of Education and Science in Ukraine, and its author, Sюй ВЕЙДУН, on the basis of public defense, deserves to be awarded to degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Specialty Management. Official opponent, Volodymyr Rodchenko.
Thank you, Volodymyr Borisovich. Dear Sюй ВЕЙДУN, please respond to the comments of Professor Rodchenko. Please.
I would like to express my gratitude to esteemed Professor Volodymyr Rodchenko for the time spent reviewing our dissertation, participation in today's session, constructive criticism, valuable comments and advice. We agree with the majority of your remarks and will certainly take them into account in our scientific work, while also intending to provide comments on some of them. For the effective implementation of innovative approaches in the development of social infrastructure in Ukraine, the following specific steps and strategies can be considered: the development and implementation of new programs and social service addressing citizens' contract insurance, as well as support for initiatives by civil society and non-profit organizations in the social assistance sphere. Admittedly, the adoption of modern technologies and information systems to enhance the management of social service, along with the creation of electric platforms for convenient access to social service and facilitating communication between citizens and the government authorities is to determine and measure the degree of stakeholder involvement in the planning, development, and implementation of social policies. Various tools and methods can be employed. Practical patient analysis, observing and analyzing the level of activity and participation of stakeholders in public consultation, community discussions, and working groups dedicated to social insurance. Surveys and interviews, conducting surveys among representative of stakeholder group to gather opportunities, beliefs, and communications regarding social policies. Decision marking, and engagement attempts to involve stakeholders in the decision-making process, such as through consultations of working groups to ensure broader representation and partnership. Use of indications, developing specific indicators to measure the level of inclusion, such as the number of public hearings, satisfaction level among stakeholders, or activity in working groups. There's approaches help systematically assess and determine the level of interaction with various stakeholders in social matters. We agree with other comments, and their premises will significantly improve the result of our future research. Once again, we assure Professor Vladimir Rodchenko of our high esteem and gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Volodymyr Borisovich. Are you satisfied with the answer on your comments?
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. According to the rules of work of the Specialized Academic Council, we proceed to the discussion of the thesis of Sюй ВЕЙДУН. I emphasize that all present members of the Academic Council have the right to take part in the discussion. Therefore, I ask those who want to speak out about this work. Maybe Nifatova Elena Mikhailovna, you can start.
Yes, okay. I would like to add some comments about the dissertation Сюй ВЕЙДУН. I would like to note that for today formation of the innovative environment in the social sector of China is becoming an extremely important task in ensuring the development of the social infrastructure of the territories. That is why I think the dissertation presented today, it is a logical response to the challenges of Chinese state support policy. As another additional advantage of the work, I would like to note its practical value for the Chinese government. The dissertation takes into account an important aspect of the inequality of the development of different regions. The formation of any analytical profile of the level of development of the social infrastructure in different regions of China, which is proposed by the author, in my opinion, will contribute to the efficiency of the use of public funds and reduce the level of regional disproportion in the overall development of the social infrastructure in China. I have already voiced my debatable remarks earlier, so my general conclusion, the dissertation is written at an appropriate scientific level, has elements of scientific novelties, practical applications, and reveals important aspects devoted to state support for innovative projects for the development of the social infrastructure of the territories. So the author of the work deserves to be awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the specialty 073 Management. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Nifatova, and I invite Щербак Валерия Геннадьевна.
Thank you very much for this very pleasure and opportunity to take part in this discussion. I was very was a very good impression from this dissertation, and I also think I can add some my opinions about this work. First of all, I want to say this dissertation introduced groundbreaking organizational and economic methods to drive innovation in social infrastructure development. First of all, it emphasizes the importance of public-private partnership and methodological approach to stakeholder interaction for impactful social policies. The research inquiry analyzes China innovation processes in the social sector and others, a comprehensive framework to assessing the social infrastructure development, aiming to balance regional growth. Overall, the author showcased deep theoretical knowledge and organization originally in addressing the challenges to enhancing theoretical territorial competitiveness through innovation. Thank you very much for these opportunities to take part in this discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Валерия Геннадьевна. Grigorий Leonardovich Monastirski, please.
Thank you. Dear college, for more than 20 years, I have been researching the problems of managing region and local communities. This problem is extremely complex and important. Today we saw and heard this from the researcher and speech of the recipient of the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy. He applied a complex system approach to achieving the said goal. I will definitely vote in favor of awarding her the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the specialty of management. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Monastyrsky, and I invite Professor Rodchenko, please.
Dear colleagues, I want to say that our today's dissertant has two main theoretical results, which, in my opinion, enough to provide him the level of the doctor philosophy. The first of all, it's a creation a new economic mechanism for managing innovation activity for development social infrastructure of the territories. It's a very relevant, very actual questions, and of course these questions at the same time actual for Ukraine now and for China also now. Different country in different conditions, but very this mechanism appropriate to the both situation. And I think it's important input of our researcher to the science. He provide this mechanism, and he has a good defense. And he demonstrated good defense, good knowledge, and I think it's enough to us. It's important argument to us to provide to him these results. And also, I will also want to note about importance about importance of approach to the formation of interaction between the key stakeholders, because now we live in very intensive and very changeable conditions, and relation of the stakeholders. It's one of the most popular topic in Ukrainian economy, in total in the world, but in Ukrainian economy, it has very big specific according to our condition. And in this case, I think we have all arguments to say yes and to provide to our dissertant degree of the doctor of philosophy. I think it's all. Thank you very much for attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Volodymyr Borisovich. Dear colleagues, I would like also to say some words about this dissertation. I would like to inform you that the topic of my scientific interests is the innovative development of rural areas in Ukraine. So I think you understand that it is no need to convince me how relevant is this scientific research, of course, and I think that the economical and organizational mechanism which was proposed by our researcher deserves our attention. Our researcher proved to be a strong researcher to my mind, showed a deep understanding of the research topic with his presentation and with the tools, scientific tools, which were used by our PhD students. So I think I will support Сюй ВЕЙДУн during the voting procedure for awarding him the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. So, dear colleagues, does any else want to speak from the academic council? If there are no objections, I suggest ending the discussion, and I would like to give the floor to the supervisor, Professor Yuri Danko, please.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. At first, I decided to write and read a long speech, but taking into consideration the fact that I met Olena Mikhailovna and Alexander Borisovich in the United States of America, it will be shame for me to read but not speak in English. Dear colleagues, today is really a wonder day, and this day is wonder not because who seats pirates from Yemen cut the cable in the Red Sea, or because the Facebook and Instagram was broken during the times that we have defense of dissertation. As for me, this day is really unique. First of all, I want to say for our PhD students that the council is really international, because Larissa Ivanovna is in Germany now, Olena Mikhailovna is in Spain now, and Vladimir Borisovich is Spain too. Valeria Gennadievna in Switzerland now, and it's we can describe this council that it's really international group of scientists. And second point of unique that Sюй ВЕЙДУН is my 15th doctoral student that get scientific degree under my scientific supervision. So I want to say thank you for everybody for this procedure, for this good defense, for your work and for your time that you spent for this defense. Thank you very much, my dear colleagues, and thank you very much for Сюй ВЕЙДУН that you decide to get your scientific degree in Sumy most national university in Ukraine. Thank you very much, dear colleagues.
Thank you very much, Yuri Ivanovich, and congratulations to such big data. Yes. So, dear colleagues, I switch on the Ukrainian language. Нами попередньо було розроблено проєкт рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради. Дозвольте його зачитати. Спеціалізована вчена рада Сумського національного аграрного університету Міністерства освіти і науки України, місто Суми, прийняла рішення про присудження ступеня доктора філософії в галузі знань 07 управління та адміністрування на підставі прилюдного захисту дисертації Сюй ВЕЙДУН на тему «Державна підтримка інноваційних проєктів розвитку соціальної інфраструктури територій» за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Сюй ВЕЙДУН, 95-го року народження, громадянин Китайської Народної Республіки, освіта вища, закінчив у 2005 році університет Чженчжоу, Китайська Народна Республіка, за спеціальністю бібліотечні науки. Аспірантуру закінчив у 2023 році Сумський національний аграрний університет Міністерства освіти і науки України, міста Суми. Дисертацію виконано у Сумському національному аграрному університеті Міністерства освіти і науки України, місто Суми. Науковий керівник професор Данько Юрій Іванович, доктор економічних наук, проректор з наукової та міжнародної діяльності Сумського національного аграрного університету. Здобувач має 10 наукових праць, з них 4 наукові праці оприлюднено у фахових наукових виданнях, 1 розділ колективної монографії і 6 наукових праць опубліковані в інших виданнях. Переходимо до процедури відкритого голосування. Шановні колеги, найбільш важлива процедура протягом сьогоднішнього засідання. Прошу членів спеціалізованої вченої ради проголосувати і озвучити рішення щодо присудження Сюй ВЕЙДУН ступеня доктора філософії зі спеціальності 073 менеджмент. Я запрошую Ніфатову Олену Михайлівну озвучити своє рішення.
Я, Ніфатова Олена Михайлівна, голосую за присудження ступеня доктора філософії Сюй ВЕЙДУН за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент.
Дякую, Олена Михайлівна. Щербак Валерія Геннадіївна.
Я, Щербак Валерія Геннадіївна, голосую за те, щоб присудити Сюй ВЕЙДУН ступеню доктора філософії за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент.
Дякую. Монастирський Григорій Леонардович, будь ласка.
Я, Монастирський Григорій, голосую за присудження ступеня доктора філософії сьогоднішньому здобувачу. Дякую.
Щиро дякую. Я запрошую Родченка Володимира Борисовича.
Я, Родченко Володимир Борисович, поки ще є зв'язок, і хусіти нам його не спортили, також підтримую нашого здобувача Сюй ВЕЙДУНя в отриманні ступеня доктора філософії. Голосую за.
Дякую, Володимир Борисович. І дозвольте, шановні колеги, також проголосувати мені. Я, Калачевська Лариса Іванівна, голосую за присудження ступеня нашому науковцю молодому Сюй ВЕЙДУНу. Отже, Шановні колеги, ми маємо 5 голосів за, проти немає. На підставі результатів відкритого голосування спеціалізована вчена рада присуджує Сюй ВЕЙДУН ступінь доктора філософії в галузі знань 07 управління та адміністрування за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Чи є зауваження щодо рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради? Шановні присутні? Так, я не бачу жодних коментарів та зауважень. Відповідно, дозвольте привітати нашого здобувача Сюй ВЕЙДУН з успішним захистом дисертації. So, dear Сюй ВЕЙДУН, I would like to inform you that all members of academic council supported you, and we would like to congratulate you with this new scientific degree. Congratulations. And you can say some words to the members of academic council, please.
It's very great honor for all the teachers to come and participate in my defense. I have been studying Ukraine for more than 10 years. Half of my life has been this beautiful country. I'm very grateful to my graduate teachers, master teachers, and my doctor teachers, really. They have helped me a lot. Today is about mark my 10th anniversary. Is done. My study life is done. I know now situation in Ukraine is not very good, but I wish every teacher can gain happiness in their future lives. I will continue to study my topic and continue my research in my future work. Thank you very much.
Dear Сюй ВЕЙДУН, thank you very much for your warm words. And I would like to wish you a success in your future professional life and hopefully also in your future scientific research. Dear colleagues, I think we have done our work. На цьому засідання
thank you very
спеціалізованої
much.
вченої ради вважається закритим. Дякую всім за роботу, шановні колеги.
Ну і вітаємо Юрія Івановича з ювілеєм.